So this week in Spoiler Zone, I take a look at Colombiana, Dr. Zhivago, and contest documentaries. Spoilers. So Colombiana. This is a movie very much plagued by PG-13ification, which I went into detail on my site, and nobody looked at it this weekend. This is a movie about a female assassin who kills people off-screen to avoid an R rating. If that sounds interesting to you, then by all means go ahead and check it out. I gave the movie 2 out of 4 stars for even more problems than just this. There's a lot of isolation between the heroine and the villain. The big bad of the movie she never even meets. The guy gets killed away from her. She has these dogs trained to eat a slab of meat when she tells them to eat. A human's very different from that. If you train the dogs to go at a slab of steak, are they really going to respond to eating a human if you say eat over a cell phone? Probably not. And what's more, he's in this van. He's got away in this van, and these dogs are preloaded in there. Like she expected him to use it. And he doesn't even notice. He puts the brakes on at a screaming halt as he approaches this garbage truck. One of the dogs would have came flying into his lap. I know, because when I've taken my dog, a miniature schnauzer, to the vet, he flies out of his seat if you tap the brakes. So, I mean, it's not very believable. It kind of encroaches on credulity, if you want to say. I just think that the theme of this movie is R-rated enough. Even if it's a musical, you'd expect an R rating if it was a comedy, just about. I mean, it's so morbid, killing people, that the violence factor, it just seems unsatisfying when everybody dies off screen or there's some kind of blur as she's stabbing a guy with toothbrushes. Zoe Saldana, I kind of like the fact that she's fairly frail. She's lean. I didn't have a problem with believing she couldn't do this stuff. It's mostly gunplay and explosions, so being an adult, you think she can fire a gun. Sure. She only has to fight one guy straight up, so it's not like she's doing some kind of salt Angelina Jolie stuff. So I don't really have a problem with Zoe Saldana in this role. I just felt that it didn't set up relationships correctly. Even with her mentor, there's no training. If there was training, wouldn't this be even more of a ripoff of The Professional? And her relationship with Michael Vartan. If they showed them getting together, meeting, then this would be even more of a ripoff of La Femme Nikita. Those are 2 better movies. Go watch them instead, honestly. Moving along to Dr. Zhivago. Anytime David Lane and Alec Guinness get together for an epic, you expect good stuff, and that's the case here. Problem is, it doesn't really show me much more than I haven't already seen from the 2. I mean, you've got Lawrence of Arabia, Bridge over River Kwai. If you like those movies, you're going to like this one too. I just thought they were better, and I mean, there's really not a lot else I can say about it. It's a film made in 1965, and it has the aesthetics of something made in the mid-50s, if not early 50s. So, it's not advancing cinema, it's not particularly groundbreaking, but it's good, so check that out sometime. I also want to talk about a bit of a subgenre in the independent documentary field. There's some movies out there that follow a contest, and I'm bringing this up because over the weekend I saw one about public speaking, and the Toastmasters organization has this event they do where they round up the best public speakers in their clubs, and they go to this regional thing, and then they go to this national level, international, all this, and they get together and they find out who's the best public speaker of the year. That's cool. I mean, except though it's well made, there's not any real issues there. There's no villain to root against. All these people have a decent enough story that you feel a little sorry for all of them in some way. You don't have a guy you hate, really. And so that's a little bit of a problem, because I've seen some other documentaries following a bluegrass contest, following bagging groceries, and I even did a review over that one on my site. And this seems to be a common problem these days, is that no one making the documentary wants to convey anyone in a bad light. They don't want to like get sued. Maybe that's the idea. They don't want to get sued by making someone look bad on camera and showing it to a wide audience. So they don't play up a villain. Even if someone's just a little bit off, the documentarian can set things up or cut the film in a way that you root against one individual, and in doing so, it makes you yearn for the success of the others. Without the dynamic of good versus bad, you don't know who to root for, and you don't really care which one wins, and that makes it less compelling. So, good versus evil, that is a theme that's worked since the dawn of time, and the two best contest documentaries play this up. I'm talking, of course, about Pumping Iron and King of Kong, A Fistful of Quarters. The older film, Pumping Iron, that has a movie star in it. His name's Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he's competing for the Mr. Olympia title 6 times in a row. They play up this villain issue with him. He doesn't work out very much on screen. He's bragging about everything, and he's getting into people's heads. He's playing mind games. Meanwhile, you got Lou Ferrigno, a rookie, showing up. He doesn't have the funding Arnold does. He's working out in a dark gym with all these bums, and it's fun. And he's hearing impaired, and you're rooting for him. That, though you never get the suspicion that Lou can beat Arnold, and he doesn't, you like the fact that there's this kind of aspect to the film to keep you interested, not just beyond lifting weights and talking to the individuals, but good versus bad works. And same with King of Kong, A Fistful of Quarters. Billy is this like arcade wizard, all right? He's the king of the old school arcade games. He's got the high score and like everything. And there's a retired, or rather out of work school teacher who devoted all of his time to Donkey Kong. And you want the retired school teacher to win. He's the nice family guy. Billy isn't. Billy's a jerk to everybody. And this movie's actually going to be made into a narrative, if what I hear is correct. That works. You know, if you're not particularly interested in video games even, good versus bad makes it interesting. That's how you make a movie compelling. That's how you form some kind of narrative to your documentary. So if you're an aspiring documentary filmmaker, keep that in mind. That's all I've got to say about that.